Hey everybody, it's Gypsy. Don't mind the way I look. I'm always out in the garden working. And it got really windy and dark out there, so I came inside. That's why it kind of looks dark. I mean, it's 9:30 in the morning. Come back in to find the electricity had gone off for a second too. But anyways, there is this woman I always listen to, typically on Rumble, but she's on YouTube also. Her name is Penny Kelly. And she has, one thing she does is a thought for the day. And this morning she spoke on something that I really, really have thought about, especially for the past 27 years. And it's about enjoying your life and how we have been brainwashed into being told we'll enjoy our lives when we retire. So the reason I have been thinking about this for 27 years is, well, because of my parents' story. My parents had plans for after my father retired. They loved going to Las Vegas. They would go maybe for a couple days, and they only went a couple times because we didn't really have a lot of money when I was growing up. I didn't realize it until I got older, but that's what it was. So they had decided they were gonna, after my dad retired, take this huge vacation and spend a great deal of time in Vegas. They had other plans too. And my parents, I can see and hear the spirit realm. They're being silly right now, so I'm not kidding you. They're just doing silly stuff. Anyways, I think they're excited because my mother died 7 years ago and they finally reunited, so I don't know. Anyways, Dad, stop. He's singing that song, Reunited, and it feels so good. Oh, God. Okay, anyways, what happened was 27 years ago, my dad died of cancer. He was only 58 years old. My parents never got to do that stuff that they had planned to do. And this happens to many people. And now that I'm older than my father was when he died, I realize even if you do make it to retirement, how much do you get to enjoy it? Maybe at the beginning of retirement, you might be able to enjoy it a little bit, but let me tell you, I'm going to be 60 soon. There are aches and pains. If you have an accident like I did, you are left with, a bad leg, fatigue. You just don't have the energy you did when you were younger. There's a big difference, and I cannot get my son to understand this. There's a big difference between 26 or being 60 or being 68 like his father. There's a huge difference. You do not have the energy level, and you don't feel as good as you did. And yes, it is nice to have this freedom, this free time, but it's exhausting. And it always bothered me. Well, isn't that backwards? Shouldn't you be enjoying yourself the most when you have the energy and the health? And this is what she spoke of today. And I'm going to put the link to this video in my comments because I think it's so important. This has bothered me for so long. My dad died young. They never got that. They never got to enjoy their retirement. And my mom lived, 26 years longer? Yeah, she just died in December. That's a long time to be alone. She didn't want to hear. My mom was a beautiful woman. She would not date anybody else. Nobody, no. My dad was the only one for her. Would you guys not get... I'm going to throw up now they're being mushy. I'll give them a minute. Anyways. So that's bothered me. So I always tell young people, do your best to do your thing. Okay, I always had a job I was not meant for, and I hated it. Yeah, I don't believe in laziness. I don't understand laziness because I get bored very easily, and I always have to be doing something. I believe we were brainwashed into believing work meant we worked for others. in my opinion, and I see this more as I get older, no, we were meant to work for ourselves. Like, all right, me being out in the garden, me growing all this food, me cooking, etc. That is me working for myself and my family. That's how it should be. Working for someone else never worked for me. Never really paid the bills. I wasn't happy, and I rarely ever got to enjoy my life. I'm telling you, I was healthy all my life. I did have a stroke at 44, but then after that, I was okay for a couple years until I got chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a whole other topic. You might want to call it a conspiracy theory, but I call it just a conspiracy. Anyways, so what I'm seeing now is the young people are starting to rebel against this system of having to work their best years away for someone else. I think that's great. Now, you do have older people who get upset about this and say they're spoiled and stuff like that. Maybe not. Maybe some are. I'm sure some are, because you do have to handle it the right way. You have to be responsible. You have to make sure you have what you need first. Oh, look at a spider's coming down behind my camera. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself and your family first before you go off willy-nilly. You need food, you need a roof over your head, stuff like that. So there's that fine line of finding something that you that suits you. Okay, like me being an artist, that was part of my problem. I probably should have been using my art during my life, and I did not. I did art a lot when I was young, and when I got into my 20s and started working, and then I became a mother and everything, I didn't touch art for, I did not paint or anything for a very, very long time. At 49, when my oldest son died, I did go back to my art, and I've been doing it ever since. I love it. I should have been using that, but as was pointed out in this video, well, art is very popular right now, but is it really art? Because, the person, she was reading this one book, and the author was like, it looks like shit. To me, I look at the art today, and I'm like, God, a kindergartner could have done that. My daughter-in-law and I are artists, and we're damn good, yet we don't have money. It's like, so why are these people who are making these dark, ugly paintings or just throwing paint here and there, doing weird shit? I'm sorry, I'm not really trying to offend anybody, but, an artist like me who takes time and puts detail, works hard on the values of their painting, it's insulting. Okay, it is. So, yeah, maybe we take offense. Anyways, I should have been using my art. I should have been doing the things I love. And the things I love are gardening, growing my own food, cooking, especially from scratch, baking from scratch, making my own bread, canning, preserving food, all that stuff. I love keeping a house, and you can't tell by looking around here, but, this because I'm out in the garden, it's going to be here all the time. Those are the things I love. And that's what I should have been doing. When you grow your own food, you're taking care of yourself and your family. So anyways, in this video, pointing out the brainwashing that starts, you enter into preschool. And they start with the brainwashing. They prepare you for kindergarten and then grade school in the higher grades, and then college, and then my mom told me, it would be different when you get out of school, because I hated school. I couldn't stand the things that were going on around there, etc. But you get into the workforce, and it's the same old shit, only on a bigger scale. You have more to lose, because it's usually financial. And you're miserable because you're not enjoying your life. Why the hell shouldn't we be enjoying our lives when we're young and we have energy and we have health? Why did I have to wait until I was older, until after my son died, to enjoy my life? Well, that's just silly. Now I'm doing the things I love. But I should have been doing it all my life. And I'm not saying be irresponsible. I'm not saying, you know, don't make sure you have a roof over your head and stuff like that. But maybe if we stopped focusing on the materialistic, superficial shit, you know, like they mentioned fashion, who has the best clothes, who look like, you know, that's bullshit. It is. I mean, I get up and I just throw in anything because I know I'm going out to the garden or I'll be in the kitchen cooking. I mean, yeah, when I go out, I put on nicer clothes, but I don't have anything. I don't care about fashion, shit like that. Material stuff. And here's what I noticed as I've gotten older, how I spend money has changed. Over the past 2 years in particular, when I spend money, it's always, for these past 2 years, been on things that are practical and useful. For instance, the last thing I ordered 2 days ago, I ordered a corn creamer from Lehman's Hardware in Kidron, Ohio. It's a wooden, you know, long piece of wood with blade on it. And after you shuck your corn, it'll remove the kernels. Now, I have a video on how to remove kernels without this. Saw my grandma do it all the time, so I, you know, got it from her, you know. Then the other day I wanted to try my hand at creamed corn. And I did, without the creamer, and it worked. But I figure, well, I want to get more corn, a whole lot more. I do have some corn I took off the cob I put up, but I want to put up some cream corn too. Well, that's going to take a lot of time and effort with my sharp knife, so I decided to get a creamer. To me, that's something practical. When I buy seeds, that's something practical. If I have to mend my soil and I don't have something I need, and I go to the store and buy it, that's something practical. I go buy milk or eggs, that's something practical. I buy produce that I don't grow here in the yard, that's something practical. Buying fresh meat from a local farm, that's practical. These are the things I've been spending my money on for the past 2 years. And those are the things I enjoy. We're all different. I don't have a desire for fancy vacations and travel. You guys know I lived on the road, traveled the United States. I'm good. I did a lot of traveling before I became a parent when I was young. Out of the country. I'm good. You know, I'm fine. I don't need that stuff anymore. It's not what interests me. Of course, it is me. But if it's what interests you, that's what you know, you got to find a way to do that while you're young and healthy. So I think you get my point. I think our times are changing. There's all the chaos. I think the workforce is changing. I know things are much different when I was young and working. And I think people have had enough. The young people are like, nah, I don't want what my parents, my grandparents, and my great-grandparents had. Good for you. Hold your ground. Because believe me, you don't know how long you have to be in the physical realm on Earth. So that's why you have to live in the moment and enjoy this moment. Don't let them stop you. Yes, make sure you have what you need, but also make sure you're enjoying your life. And you don't need anything fancy to enjoy your life. Me, I love camping. I'll go out and back in the woods and, you know, sit there, that's relaxed, whatever, by the pond. That kind of stuff. Just make sure you're doing what you love and do it while you can. I still can't believe I'm going to be 60 soon. I can't believe I've made it to this age. I never thought I would. But I did. But I should not have taken the chance of waiting until I was older. Because there are too many people like my father who did not get that chance. So I'm going to leave you with that. Make sure you check out Penny Kelly's video. I'll put the link below. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.